We have 30 insane geography facts about South Africa. Look, man, we done checked out Namibia. We checked out Zimbabwe yesterday. Now we on to South Africa. I think I've already checked out Kenya as well. But there's more. There's more that we're going to check out. But let's go ahead and get right into this, man. Shout out to my people in South Africa, bro. Y'all are up next. Let's go ahead and get right into this, y'all.
Has more plant species in a single square kilometer than the legendary Amazon rainforest. A mountain so ancient that the Himalayas, the Alps, and the Rockies are like newborns in its presence. Buckle up, because the next few minutes are going to completely rewire how you see South Africa. Starting off with fact 30. Let's start with the coastline, because South Africa's ocean situation is not normal. The sea temperature on the west coast sits at around 12 degrees Celsius. Cold, almost aggressive. Meanwhile, the east coast at the exact same latitude is sitting at a comfortable 24 degrees. That's a 12-degree difference.
That's why the beaches in Durban are so much warmer than the beaches in like around Cape Town, huh?
Largest coastal temperature gap of any country on Earth. Two completely different marine ecosystems shaped by two different ocean currents on either side of the same country. Isn't that awesome? Fact 29. Most people have never heard of Paarl Rock, and that's honestly a shame. It's the world's second largest exposed granite boulder, covering 22 full hectares and visible from 25 kilometers away. Located in the Western Cape, South Africa, it has been sitting there massive and completely unbothered for hundreds of millions of years. Tourists fly past it on the way to wine country and don't even look up. One of the biggest rocks on Earth, and it barely makes the tourism brochures. Fact 28. Now this one bothers me a little if I'm honest. Mapungubwe Hill is the site of a powerful Iron Age civilization that flourished over 1,000 years ago. Advanced, sophisticated, and a real kingdom. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and the uncomfortable truth is that most South Africans have never visited it. Fact 27. Boesmansgat. Try saying that 3 times fast. It's a cave sinkhole that plunges 283 meters straight down into underwater darkness. One of the deepest freshwater sinkholes in the world ever.
Nah, man, that hole right there might send you to the center of the earth, fam. And mug might send you to Jurassic Park.
Explored by divers, and it has claimed lives. Multiple experienced, highly trained divers have died attempting to reach the bottom. Some places on this earth don't want to be explored. Boesmansgat is one of them. Fact 26. Crazy. South Africa's gold mining industry has extracted over 50,000 metric tons of gold from the ground since 1886. That would be approximately $2.79 trillion in today's value. To put that in perspective, that's enough solid gold to fill the first 4 floors of the Empire State Building. The wealth that came out of that ground is almost incomprehensible, and so is the human cost of getting it out. Fact 25. The Tsitsikamma Forest is the oldest protected forest on the entire African continent. The yellowwood trees standing there right now are over 800 years old. They were already towering ancient giants before Columbus ever set sail, before the Renaissance, before most of Europe's great cathedrals were even finished. You walk through Tsitsikamma and you are walking through 8 centuries of uninterrupted life. That's not just nature, that's a living archive. Fact 24. South Africa's elephants have been spotted swimming across rivers more than 4 kilometers wide, and they do it by using their trunks as snorkels, held above the water like a biological periscope. These are land animals casually doing submarine maneuvers. If you ever needed proof that elephants are in a category of their own.
That's crazy. Everywhere, well, every country that we've watched a video on about Africa, the elephants are doing something crazy. I think I'm not sure if it was in Zimbabwe or Namibia, the elephants stand on their back feet to grab a certain food from a certain leaf from a tree. And here, they use it as snorkels to get, like every African country, the elephants are doing something different.
There it is. Fact 23. Every August, something almost unbelievable.
I think the ones in Namibia, they have like huge feet. Like the feet are bigger because they travel. I don't know, bro. It's crazy.
Happens in the Namakwaland Desert. Millions upon millions of daisies burst open across the landscape, turning an otherwise dry, barren wasteland into the world's largest natural flower display. The
Oh,
ground
wow.
becomes a carpet of orange, white, and yellow that stretches further than you can see. 1 month a year, this place looks like a painting. The other 11 months? Desert. It's like the land is showing off once a year just to remind you it can. Fact 22. Shark Alley near Gansby on the Western Cape is the great white shark capital of the world. More
Scared to
great
death,
white
y'all.
sharks per square kilometer than anywhere else on the planet. Cage diving here is a legitimate tourist activity. People pay money to be lowered into that water in a metal cage. And honestly, having seen the footage, I understand the appeal, and I also understand why I will never do it personally.
Come on, fam. Would y'all ever go shark? I don't know, bruh. I don't know if I would ever go shark cage diving. I actually, back in 2021, bruh, I was supposed to go shark cage diving in Cape Town, but I ended up catching COVID during the time, bruh. I had it booked and everything. I was supposed to go. I didn't make it, y'all. Might have been a good thing, bro. I don't know. But if the time ever arises again for me to go shark cage diving, hey, we're gonna have to really think about it, because hey, I ain't ready to try to play with these sharks, bruh.
Fact 21. The Cape Peninsula, just the peninsula, covers only 471 square kilometers. Yet in this tiny space, it packs in 2,285 plus plant species, more than the Amazon rainforest. Yes, the Amazon, the global
Wow,
gold
what?
standard for biodiversity. For a quick comparison, in the Cape Peninsula, there are 4.8 plants per square kilometer, whereas in the Amazon, it's 0.007 species per square kilometer, and yet almost nobody talks about it. Fact 20. Biltong culture. If you
That's
know,
actually
you
crazy.
know. And if you don't,
I thought the Amazon, we didn't know, we ain't even discovered everything in the Amazon, though. That's what I always thought.
in South Africa, it is completely normal to air dry raw meat in your home, your office, or even your car. It hangs there curing, being judged by nobody because
Is that how it's
everybody does
made,
it.
for real?
It's not a niche hobby, it's a national identity. The rest of the world calls it weird. South Africans call it Tuesday. Honestly, the confidence is admirable. Fact 19. Here's one that throws people off. Johannesburg sits on the Highveld Plateau at 1,753 meters above sea level, making it one of the highest major cities on Earth. Higher than Denver, Colorado at 1,609, which
And that's saying a lot, because Denver is very high, bruh. It's very high.
markets itself heavily as the mile-high city.
Yes.
Most people imagine South Africa as coastal beaches and flat savanna. They don't picture a major city sitting on an elevated plateau in the interior. The geography here keeps surprising you the more you look. Fact 18. The Sutherland Observatory gets up to 300 clear nights per year. It sits at altitude in dry air, far from any light pollution. One of the darkest, clearest skies on the planet, astronomers from around the world come here specifically because nowhere else gives you this kind of visibility. Scientists say that if there are signals out there from other civilizations, I mean from aliens, Sutherland is one of the best addresses on Earth to receive them. Fact 17. White rhinos were once nearly gone, hunted to the edge of extinction. Numbers collapsed to the point where survival was genuinely in question. And then South Africa did something remarkable. Through decades of conservation work, protection, and managed breeding, it brought the species back. Today, South Africa has the world's largest population of free-roaming white rhinos.
Shout out,
That's a
shout
human
out.
success story on a global
Heck
scale.
yeah.
But we people don't celebrate it enough. Fact 16. The deepest mines on Earth are in South Africa, some reaching over 4 kilometers underground. At those depths, the rock temperature is so extreme that without active cooling, the tunnels would be literally lethal. These mines require some of the most sophisticated refrigeration and ventilation engineering ever built
What?
just to keep the air breathable. Real people go down there every day to work. The engineering keeping them alive is extraordinary. So is their courage. Fact 15. The African clawless otter, the world's second largest freshwater otter, lives along South Africa's coast, and it has been observed surfing, riding ocean waves for no apparent reason other than enjoyment.
Just
This is an
chilling.
animal that lives between the river and the sea, navigates two completely different aquatic environments, and apparently decided that waves are fun. Honestly, the otters are living better than most of us. Fact 14. The Afrikaner people represent the world's largest community of people with Dutch ancestry living outside the Netherlands. Dutch settlers arrived in the Cape in the 1600s, and over centuries their language evolved, absorbed new words, adapted to a new continent, became something entirely its own. Afrikaans is a language that geography created. Isolation, distance, and time turned one European tongue into a brand new one, rooted in African soil. That's what the world does to language when you give it enough time. Fact 13. Nearly 80% of the world's manganese deposits lie under South African soil. Manganese isn't glamorous, it doesn't have gold's reputation or diamond's sparkle, but it is essential. It goes into steel production, into batteries, into electronics. The global supply chain for modern infrastructure quietly runs through South Africa's ground. Fact 12. Addo Elephant Park is the only national park on the planet that protects all of what's called the Big Seven. Not the famous Big Five, lion, leopard, rhino, elephant, buffalo, but also the great white shark and the southern right whale. A single park, all seven, on land and in the water. No other place on Earth can say that it's not just a park, it's a
Big Seven.
statement about what South Africa's geography makes possible. Fact 11. The Sterkfontein caves near Johannesburg have produced more early human fossils than any other site on Earth. The whole region is officially called the Cradle of Humankind, and that name is not
I've heard of this place, bruh. I've heard of this
marketing,
place.
it's science. And here's the part I want you to sit with. The fossils found here may represent your direct ancestors.
Oh,
Not metaphorically, not loosely, literally. The bones of the people who came before all of us.
so hold on. If I go there, I'm gonna see the bones just like that, just laying out there like that.
Resting in caves outside Johannesburg. Your story might have started in South Africa. Fact 10. South Africa experiences almost every climate zone that exists on Earth. Desert, Mediterranean, subtropical, alpine, savanna, and semi-arid. All of them within one country's borders. The only climate zone it's missing is tropical rainforest. Every other major climate type Earth produces, South Africa has it. If you want to understand how diverse a single patch of land can get, start here. Fact 9. Ubuntu, meaning I am,
I am because we are. Look, got it tatted on me. Where's it at? I think it's right here. Y'all see it? Y'all can't see it. No, it's on this side. Dude, I don't even know what side it's on. I can't see. But yeah, I got that tatted on me, boy. Ubuntu. That's one of the first tattoos I got.
because we
When I
are
came
a
here.
philosophy that has shaped corporate ethics, community movements, and global conversations about human interdependence, and it came from South African Bantu languages. It also became the name of one of the world's most popular open-source computer operating systems, used on millions of servers worldwide. A word rooted in Southern African soil is now embedded in digital infrastructure across the planet. Geography, language, and technology, connected in ways nobody planned. Fact 8. Ever heard of Nuwautville? Nobody has, I believe. This small town on the Bokavelde Escarpment in South Africa is officially called the bulb capital of the world. The rocky plateau surrounding it contains the highest density of geophyte bulb plants per square meter of any place on Earth. We're talking about a concentration of plant life so intense, so packed, so absurdly dense, that scientists had to create a specific superlative just to describe it. No rainforest, no nature reserve with a massive marketing budget, just a quiet rocky plateau in South Africa that quietly holds a world record most people will never know exists. Fact 7. South Africa contains more plant species than the entire continent of Europe. All of it. Every country. Every
Goodness.
mountain range, every forest, from Portugal to Russia, South Africa has more species. In a landmass roughly 20 times smaller. That is not a rounding error. That is not a close call. That is an absolute, staggering, almost rude level of biodiversity packed into one place. Fact 6. The Blyde River Canyon is the third largest canyon on Earth and the largest green canyon in the world. Unlike the rocky, sun-baked canyons most people picture, Blyde is lush forested and alive.
Whoa.
Rivers carve through walls of green. It looks like something out of a fantasy film, and somehow it gets a fraction of the international attention of canyons that are frankly just really big holes in dry rock. Fact 5. South Africa produces over half of the world's chrome ore and is the single largest producer of ferrochromium on the planet. Ferrochromium is the critical ingredient that makes stainless steel stainless. Without it, you don't have surgical tools, you don't have food-grade kitchen equipment, you don't have the corrosion-resistant infrastructure modern cities depend on. Fact 4. The whale nursery at Hermanus has been declared the best land-based whale watching destination on Earth by WWF. Southern right whales come here to breed and raise their young in the sheltered bay. And you don't need a boat, a wetsuit, or any special equipment. You walk to the cliff edge, look down, and watch whales. That's it. That's the whole
Just
experience.
watching them mate.
And it's the best in the world. Fact 3. African penguins in South Africa, in subtropical heat, on beaches where people sunbathe, these penguins didn't get the memo about Antarctica. They live in warm coastal conditions,
I've been here. I've seen these.
waddling around on beaches, nesting in burrows, completely rewriting everything your brain associates with the word penguin. Geography breaks every assumption you've ever made, and these birds are proof. Fact 2. Table Mountain in Cape Town is approximately 600 million years old. The Himalayas are around 50 million. The Alps, about 34 million.
Hold on, fam. Hold on, fam. Because you mean to tell me I hiked atop of the largest, one of the largest mountains in the world? I didn't even know that at the time. I'm not going to hold you. The time I went to hike on Table Mountain, and I don't recommend anybody to try this at home. Don't try this at home. It was my first time in Cape Town, y'all. My first week. I was leaving the club. I was like, let's go hiking. Went hiking on this mountain at 4 a.m., 5 a.m. in the morning. It was still dark, y'all. Didn't get up there until about, I don't know, 7, 8. You know what I'm saying? It was early in the morning. We got to see the sunrise. It was beautiful, bro. It was beautiful. A little lit, a little tipsy. But it was a good time, y'all. And we had to walk all the way back down. And the walk down was terrible, bro.
The Rockies, roughly 80 million. Table Mountain is older than all of them combined. It was ancient before those mountain ranges even existed. It
600 million years old, bro.
has sat there, flat-topped and patient, watching the entire story of complex life on Earth unfold. And finally, fact 1.
Seen everything.
South Africa's Cape Floristic region is one of the most biologically rich places on Earth, and it is disappearing. Urban development, invasive plant species, and climate shifts are quietly dismantling an ecosystem it took tens of millions of years to build. The most plant-dense region on the planet, one of only 6 floral kingdoms in the world, and most people outside South Africa couldn't tell you it exists, let alone that it's under threat. Here's what makes this the #1 fact for me. It's not just geography, it's a question. If we can't protect the most biodiverse piece of land on Earth, what are we actually protecting? That's not rhetorical. That's something worth sitting with. These are the 30 facts, and
Hey, if they could protect them rhinos, I think they could probably do a little something with those plants, man.
we didn't even scratch the surface. One country, and I guarantee you, South Africa is not what you pictured when someone first said the name. This country contains multitudes, and it deserves to be known for all of them.
What a beautiful place Cape Town is, man. Look, man, comment down below your thoughts on this one, man. If you learned anything, put it down in the comment section below. But you guys know my reaction, my commentary. If you did, smash the like, sub the channel, guys. Stay tuned for next one, man.